Kevin Costner has been a fan favorite for 10 years thanks to his mesmerizing performances, infectious smile, and intense eyes. Costner has grabbed our hearts time and time again with his poignant performances in films like The Bodyguard and Dances with Wolves, which feature romantic sweepings. However, Kevin Costner's private life has always been a mystery, with a history of public marriages and relationships that have made us question who he really is. Costner, whose girlfriend list is longer than a red carpet, made a shocking statement not long ago, and now everyone is wondering what it means. We need to know who this woman is. Why was she exceptional anyway? Keep watching as we find out why. At 68, Kevin Costner confesses, "She was the love of my life, early life and humble career beginnings." Kevin Costner was born in Linwood, California on January 18, 1955, and spent his childhood in Compton. He was one of 3 children raised by William and Sharon Costner, 2 brothers and him. His mom was a social worker, while his dad was an electrician and utilities executive. Aside from his English, Irish, Scottish, and Welsh heritage, Costner's family tree also includes German immigrants to North Carolina. He had a Baptist upbringing and always did well on the football pitch but wasn't too interested in school. He dabbled in piano, poetry, and church choir singing despite his lack of enthusiasm for formal education. He first became interested in westerns while seeing How the West Was Won when he was a little boy. After meeting a legendary figure who altered the course of his life irrevocably, this would eventually become his life's work. Kevin Costner and Richard Burton had a random run-in on a plane. What did it mean? Does it have any bearing on his choice to become an actor? To discover more, continue watching. Costner spent his adolescent years bouncing across California as a result of his father's job. Because of all the moving about, he lost confidence and was never able to form any real friendships. In spite of everything, he managed to attend 3 different high schools and earn his diploma in 1973. In addition to his passion for performing and dancing, he excelled on the baseball pitch while in high school. Acting became Costner's life's work in his final year at California State University, Fullerton. A fortuitous meeting with actor Richard Burton on a plane altered Costner's course in the film 1978. He went to Burton for guidance when he was unsure of his career trajectory, and Burton suggested that he try acting. This turning point catapulted Costner into the acting industry. He jumped headfirst into acting classes despite his reservations, all the while working odd jobs to help support his family. Some examples of these occupations include working on fishing vessels and providing tours of mansions in Hollywood. Costner made his big-screen debut in Sizzle Beach, USA in 1988, and he went on to have small parts in Night Shift and Testament in 1988 and 1989, respectively. The role that launched his career was Lawrence Kasdan's Silverado in '85, which led to his star turns in '87's The Untouchables and No Way Out, and other '87 blockbusters. The famous parts he played in Bull Durham, 1988, and Field of Dreams, 1989, solidified his position as a leading actor. Costner's decision to produce with TIG Productions in 1990 resulted in the release of Dances with Wolves, his masterwork. The picture was well received by critics and went on to win 7 Oscars, including Best Picture and Costner's Best Director trophy. He demonstrated his flexibility in a number of genres during the 1990s and 2000s, appearing in everything from action-adventure films like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in 1991, to tragedies like JFK and The Bodyguard in the same year. Costner's career was a roller coaster, with critically acclaimed features like Open Range in 2003 and commercial successes like 13 Days in 2000. He expanded his acting career into television, where he became famous for his parts in Yellowstone and Hatfields and McCoys, both of which aired in 2012 and garnered critical acclaim. There have been highs and lows in Costner's career, but he has persevered through it all to become a Hollywood star. The focus on him has been on more than just his professional life. The actor's private life has been equally interesting, it turns out. His romantic exploits, which have ranged from multiple flings to high-profile romances, have frequently been the subject of gossip. Come with us as we take a tour of Kevin Costner's romantic life, his first marriage and divorce. It all began at California State University, Fullerton, where he met Cindy Silva, who would later become his first wife. Silva, who was said to look like Snow White, won Costner over with her wit and beauty. They became husband and wife in 1788 and had 3 children together, Joe, Annie, and Lily. Rumors of adultery circulated despite their mythical origins, especially during Kevin Costner's time filming Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves in the 1990s. The couple separated and subsequently divorced in 1994 as a result of these rumors. The couple reportedly spent roughly $80 million to settle their financial and parental issues amicably, according to Costner's statement. The breakup was terrible, but it made Costner think about how he contributed to the marriage's downfall. He was gracious to Cindy despite his shortcomings. He still loved and admired her, and spoke of her as a great woman. Costner continued to be forthright about the difficulties in his marriage even after the divorce. He admitted guilt in interviews and expressed regret for how his actions had affected his loved ones. Among the many women whose relationships came to light were rumors of his alleged affairs with Peggy Trentini and Michelle Amaral, a famous hula dancer. Costner, on the other hand, stressed the hurt he caused Silva and their kids by denying having any substantial contact with Amaral. When asked about Silva's poise during the divorce, Costner praised her. He never stopped loving and respecting her, no matter how difficult things got. Cindy, on the other hand, was there for Costner throughout their marriage, even when he was a failing actor and taking on odd jobs like playing Snow White at Disneyland. Regardless of the marital problems, her support remained constant. They claim that things don't work out when love isn't involved. This leads us to wonder how many women he allegedly dated. Kevin Costner definitely wasn't a one-woman man. Throughout his life, he had a number of distinct relationships. Although these relationships were brief, the media frequently highlighted their significance. The relationship between Kevin Costner and Courtney Cox lasted from 1988 to 1989. You may recognize her most from her role as Monica on Friends. They became well publicized when they met through Hollywood's social circles and began dating. In spite of their hectic schedules, they maintained an intimate and considerate connection. Their paths diverged after approximately 1 year. With the success of Friends, the Scream films, and Cougar Town under her belt, Cox kept building her career. Kevin Costner was allegedly seeing Toni Little in the middle of 1988. Toni was the reigning Miss America in 1976 and went on to become a prominent TV personality. Her divorce from Dr. John DeLuca had just been finalized. Although it lasted for around a year, their passionate romance was cut short. Although she worked with smaller stations, Toni became famous in the broadcasting industry thanks to her work with KCTV, KCOP, and KAB. The breakup was a disappointment for the fans who had anticipated a longer engagement. After Kevin Costner's divorce in 1996, he dated Carla Bruni. Prior to her position as First Lady of France, Carla worked as a model and was a singer-songwriter. They had a meaningful but short-lived romance that lasted just a year. After becoming popular as a top model in the 80s and 90s, Carla successfully transitioned into music and released multiple albums. She had a long and eventful public career before she wed French President Nicolas Sarkozy. Dating Elle Macpherson was Kevin Costner's move after his split with Carla Bruni in 1996. Model, entrepreneur, actor, and TV host Elle, better known as The Body, had a full career. They were together for a brief but passionate time, ending in the early 90s. Aside from her massively successful modeling career, Elle also launched the lingerie business Elle Macpherson Intimates, which further increased her impact. Maintaining a prominent position in the fashion and entertainment worlds, she also dabbled in acting and business. A brief affair with Cheryl Tiegs followed Kevin Costner's divorce in 1995. At a social gathering, they met and hit it off immediately, but it was only a few months until their romance ended peacefully. Supermodel and fashion designer Cheryl Tiegs is well known. From the 1970s through the 1980s, she graced the covers of many magazines, including Time and Sports Illustrated, and became famed as the first American supermodel. Her own clothing brand, which she later debuted, was an enormous hit across all channels. Working together on Amazing Stories for a short time in 1989 brought Kevin Costner and Halle Berry into the picture. Not much is known regarding the reasons for the breakup of their brief romance either, but this didn't dampen their cordial working relationship. When asked about Costner, Halle Berry has nothing but praise for him. Best Actress Oscar winner Halle Berry became the first African-American woman when she won the honor for her performance in Monsters Ball. Not only has she been a major player in Hollywood for the past 30 years, but she is also famous for her parts in the X-Men films. He had rumors about his love life that started right after that, but you would assume that was the end of it. Rumors about Kevin Costner's love life. Rumors began circulating in the late 80s that Costner and Bobby Brown were romantically involved. Despite the lack of concrete information, they were often spotted together at Hollywood events, indicating a strong bond during that time. Bobby Brown rose to prominence as a video vixen, thanks in large part to her appearance in Warrant. After that, in 1990, rumors began to circulate that Costner and Michelle Pfeiffer had an affair, maybe inspired by their work together on The Fabulous Baker Boys. Tabloid speculation added another chapter to Costner's love life after their reported affair, which was brief but intense. Actress Michelle Pfeiffer became a Hollywood heavyweight thanks to her brilliant career in films like Dangerous Liaisons and Scarface. An additional layer of mystery was added that year when Costner had a brief romance with British supermodel Naomi Campbell. They became romantically involved after meeting at a Los Angeles fashion event. Their brief union was covered extensively by the media, even though their careers took different directions. Naomi Campbell became an international icon with her rise to fame as a supermodel and subsequent role as a leading philanthropist. Costner's love life was filled with more entanglements than anyone could have predicted. Fans and journalists alike were captivated by each relationship, which added a colorful chapter to his career. During the years 1991-1992, rumors circulated around Kevin Costner's alleged affair with Peggy Trentini. Due to Costner's desire for secrecy, their relationship was kept under wraps, and very little information was made public. Just like Costner often does when he wants to keep some parts of his private life out of the spotlight, the reasons for their split were kept under wraps. Unlike some of Costner's previous exes, Peggy Trentini kept a low profile despite her involvement in films and television shows like Criminal Passion and Beverly Hills 90210. Once Upon a Star, Celebrity Kiss and Tell Stories, her memoir published in 2016, provided insights into the inner workings of Hollywood. Rumors suggested that Costner and Mira Sorvino briefly dated in 1993, with some speculating that the two met at a Hollywood social event and hit it off. At first, they were drawn to each other because they both had accomplished careers in movies and were passionate about the arts. Unfortunately, their romance ended abruptly. An Oscar and widespread acclaim were bestowed upon Mira Sorvino for her magnificent turn in Mighty Aphrodite. Despite the transient nature of her relationship with Costner, Sorvino made an unforgettable impression on the film industry with her parts in Romy and Michelle's high school reunion, Norma Jean and Marilyn, among others. His love story with Michelle Amaral. During the production of Waterworld in 1994, rumors circulated that Kevin Costner had an affair with hula dancer Michelle Amaral. During filming at the Moana Hotel, Amaral, who was married and a mother of two at the time, supposedly encountered Costner. The sighting of her leaving Costner's villa set the rumors in motion. Costner has denied the allegations, but stories began circulating that he was an adulterer during his marriage to Cindy Silva. Silva and the affair allegedly split up when an employee from Waterworld told him about it. Claiming he was merely doing a job interview with Amaral, Costner strongly refuted the claims. He voiced his sympathies and frustrations with Amaral, stressing the importance of her right to privacy and dignity. Rather than treating Amaral as nothing more than a controversy, Costner emphasized in his defense of her humanity. Bridget Rooney, the famous heiress to the Pittsburgh Steelers' fortune, and Kevin Costner's brief affair added another twist to his romantic life. Costner welcomed a son, Liam, with Rooney only a few years following his split from Cindy Silva. The fact that Liam is here at the age of 27 attests to the rapidity of this affair. The businesswoman Rooney maintained her certainty regarding Liam's paternity, citing her connections to one of the most famous American football teams. A paternity test proved that Costner was indeed the father, even though she was confident. The actor allegedly spent a hefty penny on this romance, which lasted for months, estimated to be approximately $7 million. There were several bumps along the road in Costner and Rooney's relationship. Their relationship was troubled, and they broke up after dating for almost a year, even though they both welcomed parenting together. Following Rooney's demand for the paternity test, Costner acknowledged Liam. Costner established a trust fund for Liam after the couple split up and kept in touch with his son on an intermittent basis. Their relationship was already complicated, but Bridget Rooney's ties to the Pittsburgh Steelers and her family's fortune only made things more complicated. Notwithstanding the challenges, Costner's personal life was profoundly affected by their short romance, which shaped his path as a father and a public figure dealing with the intricacies of love and family in the limelight. A look at Kevin Costner's romance with Whitney Houston. On screen, Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston became inseparable in the 1992 film The Bodyguard. They sparked relationship rumors with their on-screen chemistry, which helped propel the film to unprecedented box office success. Costner and Houston were only ever known to be professional acquaintances, though. Costner said that the script created by Lawrence Kasdan was responsible for their on-screen chemistry. He went on to say that their characters had a distinct dynamic due to the clever banter between them. According to Costner, the phrases also serve as a kind of chemistry. But this didn't stop Costner from calling Houston his one true love following her death, which only served to heighten the rumor. Hollywood star Whitney Houston was engaged to Bobby Brown when they shot The Bodyguard, and they tied the knot later that year. Also, Costner's first wife, Cindy Silva, was his wife for a while. The couple had 3 kids together. Costner was forthright about his esteem for Houston's abilities and attractiveness, regardless of their relationships. A few people were not satisfied with his decision to have Houston play his love interest in the film, but he ignored their complaints by claiming that anyone would want to kiss Houston. Costner was the recipient of Houston's complimentary remarks. She called Costner a lifelong friend and said in an interview with 1992 that the two of them worked on scripts together on their days off. They had a strong connection off-screen as well as on-screen, but there's no proof that things got amorous between them. The breakup of Costner's marriage to Cindy Silva in 1994 had zero bearing on his romance with Houston. The rumored private performance with an exotic dancer was supposedly the last straw that caused the couple to part, among other alleged personal concerns. At Houston's funeral, Costner delivered a moving eulogy in which he praised her statuesque figure and reflected on how her charisma and skill had enchanted him. Even though their relationship was always only a friendship, this touching memorial served to emphasize how close they were. Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston have an undeniable mutual appreciation for one another. It was in 2002, 10 years after Houston passed away and 30 years after The Bodyguard, that Costner pondered the enduring influence of the late actress. He mentioned that there was a scene involving her in the film while speaking with Entertainment Weekly that will always be etched in our minds. For Costner, this was the pinnacle of cinematic magic. His remarks reveal the profound impact that Houston had on him and the impact that their collaboration had. So, even though Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner were the subject of persistent romance rumors, the two celebrities insisted that their connection was strictly business. Their enduring connection, formed through mutual regard and respect, made their on-screen chemistry in The Bodyguard remarkable. Kevin Costner and Christine Baumgartner, his second wife. After Kevin Costner's divorce in 1994, he found himself facing the challenges of love all over again. "Destiny has other plans for you," goes the old saying, and that's just what happened to Costner as he was debating whether to try marriage again. Look, Fate has a certain purpose in mind for him. When Baumgartner, a handbag designer and ex-model, was in town in 1996 for the filming of Tin Cup, the two actors happened to cross paths. Little did they know that their fortuitous meeting would set the stage for an enchanting love story. Although they dated for over 2 years before briefly breaking up in 2002, their romance gained momentum from a sluggish start. When word got out that Costner wasn't interested in starting a family, things got dicey, say his acquaintances. Still, Baumgartner's unfaltering patience and love shone through. Her promise to wait for him was vague. She never specified for how long. It was absolutely magical when they were reunited. Costner met Baumgartner with no intention of falling in love again, but destiny had other plans. Kevin Costner's tragic affair with Christine Baumgartner was an emotional roller coaster. Their shared experiences, both good and bad, illuminated the complexities of marriage and love. The first cause of Costner's hesitation was his fear of being a dad. He was undecided about wanting more children, which led to a long courtship and short breakup. A startling epiphany, though, changed his whole outlook. It dawned on him that he was unable to love a dedicated partner like Baumgartner or relish in fatherhood because of his fears. They got engaged in 2003 and then tied the knot at Costner's breathtaking ranch, the Dunbar, in Aspen, Colorado, the following year. They took a beautiful turn in their romance. The couple exchanged vows in a ceremony that took place against a beautiful backdrop of greenery. The huge acreage owned by Costner served as the gorgeous backdrop for their wedding. An intriguing facet to their story is the fact that Costner and Baumgartner are both alumni of Cal State Fullerton. Baumgartner obtained a degree in business, which is evidence of her abilities and determination. After tying the knot, Costner and Baumgartner began a new phase of their lives together, raising 3 beautiful children, Grace, Hayes, and Caden. The tranquil Aspen Ranch was a haven for their family, where tales of devotion and affection could be heard around every corner. Spending time away from acting was a sign of how much his new family meant to Costner. Throughout their shared experiences, they grew closer. This was especially evident during the challenging times brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. Despite their apparent harmony, their marriage began to exhibit symptoms of strain. Baumgartner allegedly issued an ultimatum to actor Kevin Costner because of Costner's role in the hit TV series Yellowstone. The consequence was a further pressure on their already troubled relationship, which may have been indicative of deeper issues between them. Then the shocking news came out. Rumors began circulating in May 2004 that Baumgartner had filed for a divorce following an 18-year marriage. The announcement shocked their friends, family, and admirers. Despite their best efforts to keep their private lives out of the limelight, their marriage was bound to end. Their desire for joint custody of their 3 children demonstrates their unwavering commitment to co-parenting, regardless of the obstacles they faced. The main house in Ventura, California, served as an appropriate backdrop while they pondered on shared experiences and the collapse of their marriage. The legal matters between the pair were resolved in September 2023 with the implementation of a prenuptial agreement. Audiences were enthralled by their sad love story, which served as a stark reminder that relationships, especially in the glitzy Hollywood world, are complex and susceptible. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Click on the next video now that pops on your screen. Till next time.